Job interviews, they can be completely nerve-wracking, right? But what if I told you that the anxiety you feel isn't random? It's actually caused by two very specific mistakes that almost everybody makes. So today, we're going to break down exactly what those are. I'm going to give you a clear, actionable framework so you can walk into your next interview with total confidence. Let's do this. You've totally been there, haven't you? The interviewer asks a question and you know you have the perfect answer, but your mind just goes empty. Poof! It's like your brain just short circuits under all that pressure. Believe me, that feeling is incredibly common. So if it's happened to you, you are definitely not alone. And, here's why that's such a massive problem. That anxiety, it stops the employer from seeing the real you, the competent, qualified professional who can absolutely crush this job. Instead, all they see is the nervous you. And honestly, that can be a deal breaker. But don't worry, we are going to fix that today. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll pinpoint the confidence killer. Then, we'll bust the preparation myth. After that, I'll show you how to rehearse like an actor. And we'll talk about why it's not about you. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with your two-step fix. So, what is this confidence killer we call interview anxiety? Well, it's not just a case of the jitters. It actually boils down to two very specific and, thankfully, very fixable core issues. And there it is. It really is that simple. It's not some big, scary monster. It's just these two things. Number one, a very specific kind of being unprepared that we're about to unpack. And number two, your mental focus is just pointed in completely the wrong direction. If we tackle these two things head on, we can get rid of the root cause of the anxiety. Let's start with that first one, preparation. Okay, so here's the thing. Most people think they're preparing for an interview, but they're falling into this super common trap. They think that just, thinking about their answers in their head is enough. But there is a huge, huge gap between thinking and actually performing. And what's really fascinating here is the science behind it. See, thinking about an answer uses a totally different part of your brain than actually speaking the answer. So when you only practice in your head, you haven't built the verbal muscle memory you need to articulate your thoughts clearly when you're under pressure. So if just thinking about it isn't enough, what is? Well, the solution is to make a little mindset shift. You need to start preparing like a professional performer. Because let's be honest, your job interview is a live performance. I mean, this analogy is just perfect, right? An actor would never just think about their lines and then show up on opening night. No way. They rehearse them out loud, over and over and over. They need to hear how the words sound, they need to feel the rhythm, and that's how they build real confidence. You have to do the exact same thing with your key interview answers. But wait, there's a really crucial warning here. This is not about memorizing a script word for word. Memorization is actually the lowest, most fragile form of learning. The second an interviewer throws you a curveball or interrupts with a question, that memorized script just shatters. And that's when you completely crumble. So the goal here is to rehearse for deep understanding, not just memorization. Here's how you do it right. First, practice your answers out loud, no script. Second, try to say the same key point in a few different ways. This builds mental flexibility. And third, record yourself on your phone, listen back, how's your tone? Do you sound energetic? This is how you build real confidence that won't disappear under pressure. Now, rehearsing your answers is absolutely key. But that's only half the battle. True confidence on interview day, it starts way earlier than that. It starts with having an application and a resume that you are genuinely proud of, one that you know will get you in the door. And that actually brings me to our sponsor, mobilecv.ai. Look, a huge source of anxiety is just wondering if a real human will ever even see your resume. Did you know that 75% of resumes get automatically rejected by those applicant tracking system bots? It's crazy. Mobilecv.ai solves that exact problem. It creates a perfectly formatted ATS-optimized resume in like 60 seconds. It uses this amazing professional formatting that is just worlds better than a Word document, and it makes sure you get past the bots. Best of all, there's no annoying monthly subscription, and you get 3 free credits to start. It's an amazing tool. All right, so we have totally tackled the preparation problem. Now it's time for the second major cause of interview anxiety, and that is having your focus in the wrong place. Most of us, we walk into an interview and we are completely focused on ourselves. You know that little voice in your head, right? Am I saying the right thing? Oh no, did they like that answer? What do they think of me? That constant self-judgment is an absolute recipe for anxiety because you're trying to perform and critique yourself at the exact same time. It just doesn't work. But here is the game-changing shift. Instead of seeing yourself as a candidate who's being tested, I want you to reframe it. See yourself as a consultant, as a problem solver who is there to help. Just that one little change in your perspective, it moves you from a place of fear to a place of service. And that immediately just lowers the pressure. So, how do you actually do this? Here's your playbook. First, dive deep into that job description. It's basically a list of their problems. Then, start using their language and their terminology in your answers. It builds instant rapport. Don't just list your skills, connect them directly to how you're going to solve their specific challenges. And hey, if you really want to blow them away, show up with a rough 30, 60, 90-day plan in your head. When you do that, you're not just another candidate, you're a partner. Woo! Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, right? We've talked about preparation, we've talked about perspective. So now let's just boil it all down to that simple two-step framework you can use to conquer interview anxiety for good. And this is it. This is everything. These are the two pillars. Number one, rehearse your answers out loud like an actor to build real, flexible confidence. Number two, shift your entire mental focus away from yourself and onto them. See yourself as the solution to their problems. If you can master these two steps, I promise you, it will fundamentally change how you experience job interviews. Because think about it, when you prepare the right way and you focus on helping them, you stop being just another nervous candidate. You become a confident consultant, a strategic partner, and you become exactly the person they've been hoping to find. So the only question left is, are you ready to be that person?